What if I told you that $20 in 1950 could buy you what costs $240 today? What if I told you there was a specific year when $20 stopped being real money in America? And what if I showed you the exact moment when the American dream became mathematically impossible for most people? I'm American Economic Nostalgia, and today I'm going to take you on a journey through 70-plus years of American purchasing power. And I guarantee you, the results will not just shock you, they'll make you understand why your grandparents constantly say, "Back in my day." I've spent months digging through historical price data, inflation calculators, old newspaper ads, and economic reports. What I found wasn't just interesting, it was devastating. It explains why boomers could buy houses at 25 while millennials can barely afford rent at 35. This isn't just a nostalgia trip. This is economic archaeology. We're going to uncover the buried truth about what happened to American purchasing power, decade by decade, dollar by dollar. Here's what we're going to do. I'll show you exactly what $20 could buy you in each decade since 1950. Real prices, real products, real purchasing power. And along the way, I'll show you the specific moments when everything changed. But before we start, let me warn you, some of these numbers are going to make you angry. Really angry. Because you'll realize just how much purchasing power we've lost, and why. So buckle up. We're about to travel back in time with Andrew Jackson in your pocket, and you're going to see just how far that $20 bill could take you in each decade. Let's start with 1950, when $20 was serious money. 1950s, $20 was a week's groceries for a family. Welcome to 1950, when $20 wasn't just money, it was power. Let me blow your mind with what $20 could buy you. Sirloin steak, 77 cents per pound. You could buy 25 pounds. Whole chicken, 43 cents per pound. That's 46 chickens for $20. Milk, 82 cents per gallon, 24 gallons of fresh milk. Bread, 12 cents per loaf, 166 loaves of bread. Coffee, 79 cents per pound, 25 pounds of premium coffee. But here's the kicker. The average American worker made $2,992 per year in 1950. That means our $20 represented about 2.4 days of work for the average person. Let me put this in perspective. In 1950, you could feed a family of 4 for an entire week with $20 and have money left over for a movie and popcorn. That same family grocery budget today, you're looking at $200 to $250. The average house in 1950 cost $7,354. Our $20 represented 0.27% of a house. Today, that same percentage would be about $1,080. But we're talking about the same $20 bill. 1960s. $20 still bought luxury experiences. Fast forward to 1960, the dawn of the space age, when America was booming and $20 could still buy you the good life. What $20 bought in 1960? A gasoline, 25 cents per gallon, you could fill up 4 cars completely. A movie tickets, 69 cents each, take 28 people to the movies. A restaurant dinner, $2.50 for a full meal, 8 fancy dinners out. A record albums, $2.98 each, 6 brand new LPs. Cigarettes, 23 cents per pack, 86 packs, please don't. But here's what's really shocking. In 1960, the minimum wage was $1 per hour. Our $20 represented exactly 20 hours of minimum wage work. A high schooler could work one weekend and have serious spending money for a month. You could take your girlfriend to dinner at a nice restaurant, go to a movie, buy her flowers, get gas for your car, and still have change left over from your $20. Try doing that today with $20. Economic context. The average annual income in 1960 was $4,007. Our $20 was 0.5% of the entire year's income for the average American. Today, that percentage would equal about $350. 1970s. The first cracks appear, $20 feels smaller. Welcome to the 1970s, the decade when everything started to change. This is when $20 began its transformation from good money to pocket change. What $20 bought in 1970? A gasoline, 36 cents per gallon, still 55 gallons but rising fast. McDonald's Big Mac, 65 cents, 30 Big Macs, when they were rare treats. A gallon of milk, $1.15, 17 gallons. New car, averaged $3,900. Our $20 was 0.51% of a car. College tuition, public, per year $1,207. Our $20 was 1.66% of yearly tuition. But 1973 changed everything. The oil crisis hit, and suddenly Americans learned a new word, stagflation. Prices went up while wages stayed flat. The turning point. By 1979, gasoline hit 86 cents per gallon. Our $20 went from buying 55 gallons to just 23 gallons in one decade. This was the beginning of the end for American purchasing power. The 1970s were when parents stopped saying, "Money is no object," and started saying, "We need to watch our spending." $20 was still decent money, but you could feel it weakening. 1980s, the Reagan years, $20 becomes lunch money. The 1980s, when greed was good, cocaine was everywhere, and $20 became what we'd call lunch money today. What $20 bought in 1980? A gasoline, $1.19 per gallon, 16.8 gallons. The decline continues. Movie tickets, $2.69 each, 7 tickets, versus 28 in 1960. McDonald's meal, $2.59, 7 full meals. Cassette tape, $6.99, 2 albums, versus 6 LPs in 1960. Magazine, $1.50, 13 magazines. Here's where it gets crazy. In 1980, the average house cost $76,400. Our $20 was now only 0.026% of a house. Compare that to 0.27% in 1950. We lost 90% of our housing purchasing power in just 30 years. The 1980s were when credit cards exploded. Why? Because $20 wasn't enough anymore for anything significant. Americans had to start borrowing money for things their parents bought with cash. The cocaine economy. Average income in 1980, $12,530. Our $20 was 0.16% of yearly income. People were making more money, but $20 bought proportionally less than ever before. 1990s, the Clinton boom, $20 becomes a convenience fee. The 1990s, when the internet was born, the economy boomed, and $20 became something you'd spend without thinking twice. What $20 bought in 1990? A gasoline, $1.34 per gallon, 14.9 gallons. Movie tickets, $4.75 each, 4 tickets. Remember when families went to movies? A fast food meal, $4.50, 4 meals. CD, $12.99, 1 CD barely. A video rental, $2.99, 6 movies from Blockbuster. This was the decade when $20 became, "I need cash for parking and snacks." You couldn't take someone on a real date with $20 anymore. You could barely take yourself to a movie and buy popcorn. But here's the kicker. Average household income in 1990 was $29,943. Our $20 represented 0.067% of yearly income. For the first time in American history, $20 became truly insignificant relative to what people earned. The credit card revolution. This is when Americans stopped carrying cash. Why? Because $20 couldn't buy anything meaningful anymore. Everything required a credit card. 2000s. dot-com crash and $20 becomes coffee money. Welcome to the 2000s-9 divided by 11, the Iraq War, the dot-com crash, and $20 becoming what you'd spend on coffee for the week. What $20 bought in 2000? A gasoline, $1.56 per gallon, 12.8 gallons. Movie tickets, $5.66 each, 3.5 tickets. Starbucks coffee, $3.50, 5 fancy coffees. McDonald's meal, $5.90, 3.4 meals. A DVD, $19.99, exactly 1 DVD. This is the decade when $20 became psychologically meaningless. Parents gave kids $20 for lunch money. You'd spend $20 on parking without blinking. It was pocket change. Average household income in 2000, $42,148. Our $20 was now 0.047% of yearly income. We had crossed into true insignificance territory. The housing bubble. Average house price in 2000, $165,300. Our $20 was 0.012% of a house. To put that in perspective, you'd need $83 in 2000 to buy what $20 bought toward a house in 1950. 2010s, the Great Recession aftermath, $20 becomes a tip. The 2010s, recovering from the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, and $20 becoming what you'd leave as a good tip at dinner. What $20 bought in 2010? A gasoline, $2.84 per gallon, 7 gallons. Movie tickets, $8.01 each, 2.5 tickets. A fast casual meal, $8.50, 2.4 meals. Streaming service, $7.99 per month, 2.5 months of Netflix. Smartphone app, 99 cents, 20 apps, the only thing that got cheaper. This is when $20 became tip money. A good tip at a restaurant. What you'd give your teenager for the day. Completely meaningless for any real purchase. Average household income in 2010, $50,221. Our $20 was 0.04% of yearly income. We had officially entered the pocket change era. The smartphone revolution. Ironically, this is when technology made some things cheaper. Apps, music streaming, communication, all got cheaper. But everything physical, food, gas, housing, kept getting more expensive. 2020s, post-pandemic reality, $20 becomes laughable. And now we arrive at today, post-pandemic America, where $20 has become almost comically powerless. What $20 bought in 2020? A gasoline, $2.60 per gallon, 7.7 gallons. Movie tickets, $9.57 each, 2 tickets. Fast food meal, $9, 2.2 meals. Coffee, $5.50, 3.6 fancy coffees. Parking in NYC, 1 hour maybe. But then 2021 to 2022 happened. Inflation went insane. Let me show you what $20 buys today. What $20 buys in 2023. A gasoline, $3.50 per gallon, 5.7 gallons. Movie tickets, $15 each, 1.3 tickets. Fast food meal, $12, 1.7 meals. A grocery basket that cost $20 in 2020 now costs $26.40. Average household income in 2023, $70,084. Our $20 is 0.029% of yearly income. It's literally pocket change that fell between your couch cushions. The shocking comparison, 1950 versus 2023. Now let me show you the numbers that will absolutely blow your mind. Let's compare what $20 bought in 1950 versus what it buys today. 1950, $20 bought you 25 pounds of steak, 24 gallons of milk, 166 loaves of bread, a week's groceries for a family, 0.27% of a house, 2.4 days of average wages. 2023, $20 buys you 1.8 pounds of steak, 2.2 gallons of milk, 6.7 loaves of bread, maybe lunch for one person, 0.005% of a house, 0.029% of yearly income. To buy what $20 bought in 1950, you'd need $240 today. That's a 1,200% increase in prices, while wages only increased about 2,400%. The math that will make you angry. If purchasing power had stayed the same, $20 today should buy what $240 buys. Or alternatively, if wages had kept up with purchasing power, the average American should be making about $170,000 per year. So what the hell happened? How did we go from $20 being serious money to $20 being what you find in your old jeans? 1971, Nixon shock. Nixon took the U.S. off the gold standard. Money stopped being backed by anything real. This is when inflation could really run wild. 1973, oil crisis. Gas prices quadrupled overnight. Americans learned that global events could destroy their purchasing power instantly. 1980s, credit revolution. Credit cards became universal. When people can borrow money easily, prices can rise faster because purchasing power becomes artificial. 2000s, housing bubble. Easy credit created fake wealth. When everyone can borrow $500,000 for a house prices rise to meet that borrowing power. 2020 to 2022, COVID money. Printing. The government printed more money in 2 years than in the previous 20 years combined. Basic economics. More money chasing the same goods equals higher prices. Each of these events took purchasing power away from regular Americans and gave it to, well, that's a different video. The psychological impact. But here's what really gets me about this whole story. It's not just about money. It's about what money represented. In 1950, $20 represented possibility. You could do something meaningful with it. You could take care of your family, go on a date, buy something special. Today, $20 represents nothing. It's so meaningless that we literally give it to kids as allowance. We tip it without thinking. We lose it in our couch and don't bother looking for it. The generational impact. This is why your grandparents are horrified when you spend $15 on lunch. In their world, $15 was serious money. It could feed a family. This is why boomers don't understand why millennials can't buy houses. In their experience, houses cost a few $1,000s, and you could save that working part-time. We're not just talking about inflation here. We're talking about the destruction of the American middle class, $1 at a time. So there you have it, the shocking truth about what $20 bought you in every decade since 1950. From a week's groceries to barely covering lunch, we've witnessed the systematic destruction of American purchasing power. But here's what's really shocking. This isn't an accident. This isn't just inflation. This is the result of specific policy decisions made by specific people at specific times. When $20 becomes meaningless, what happens to society? Kids don't learn the value of money because small amounts have no value. People go into debt for basic necessities because cash can't buy anything meaningful. The gap between rich and poor explodes because assets inflate while wages stagnate. The American dream dies because the math simply doesn't work anymore. But knowledge is power. Now you know why your money feels worthless. Now you understand why your grandparents saved every penny. Now you can make informed decisions about your financial future. If this video shocked you, hit that like button, because more people need to see this data. If you want me to break down other aspects of American financial history, subscribe and let me know in the comments. And here's what I want you to do right now. Ask your grandparents what they remember paying for things in the 1950s and 60s. Record those conversations. Because in 20 years, your grandkids are going to be asking you what things cost in 2023. Next week, I'm going to show you what $100 bought in each decade, and the results are even more shocking than what we covered today. Plus, I'll reveal the specific year when the American dream became mathematically impossible for most people. Until then, keep questioning everything, especially when someone tells you that rising prices are normal or inevitable.